Alright, YouTube, we got the greatest anime I can't recommend. This is obviously a video about Kingdom, right? Now, I have not watched Kingdom, but recently I was thinking about watching it, so this came up on the timeline at a perfect time and it got me interested. So, the greatest anime I can't recommend. Let's see what he's talking about.
If you clicked on this video because of the title, you're either one of two people. Someone who has never seen the anime I'm about to talk about in this video and is interested in what's so great
He's
about
right.
it, and if it's so great, why I can't recommend it. Or you're someone who does know what I'm talking about, and you probably clicked on this video because of how stupid this title may seem. If you are the latter, then just give me a second to explain myself. The anime I'm talking about in this video is called Kingdom. Kingdom was originally a manga made in 2000.
Look, I've heard great things about the manga. Absolute great things. It's one of the reasons why I thought about reading the anime. I've been watching the anime, but the problem with the anime is that the whole first season is CGI, and I don't know if I can do it. Now, I see that in the previous seasons that they go to regular animation, and it looks a lot better. But I don't know if I could get past that first season. The first season is like 30 episodes, something like that. It's long. I don't know if I can do it.
Before we get any further into the video, I just want to say that I'm not a native Chinese speaker, so if I butcher any of these names,
bro, you're fine, bro. We don't care.
Also, the anime Kingdom does this weird thing where they'll say the names of the characters in Japanese, but sometimes the subtitles will say the names in Chinese. So for this video's purposes, I'll just be going by the characters' Japanese names, which are also the names that the manga tends to use. Like I said earlier, Kingdom is a manga made in 2006, and it's a manga that has a fictional take on the Qin Kingdom's dynasty in 221 BC, and the Qin Kingdom's rise to power against the other 6 warring states in China at the time. Those being Chu, Han, Zhao, Yan, Wei, and Qi. This title of the video may kind of seem like I'm hating, but I think it's a completely valid...
Bro, if you watch the whole show, you can hate. Do not let these niggas tell you not. If you watch the entirety of a show, right, and you have an opinion on it, you can hate. You just can't be mad at when someone comes and shits on your opinion, bro. That's it. But you don't feel like you can't come on here and hate. You could definitely hate, bro. We welcome haters. We welcome them. Just be smart about how you're hating. That's all I'm gonna say.
Dance on Kingdom. As for why I can't recommend Kingdom, there's really 2 main points I want to point out in this video. The first one being that the animation in the first 2 seasons of Kingdom are very questionable, especially the first season, as the first season is almost entirely CGI. And the other reason as to why I don't think I could recommend...
But what I want to know is if I get past those first 2 seasons, how good is it after that? Does the animation make up for it? Does the story make up for it? Like, that's the information that I want to know.
Kingdom to most people is that while it is based on real historic events, it is by no means realistic at all.
Hey, bro, you could cross that. We could cross that off the list for me. I don't give a fuck how realistic it is or the realism. I don't care. I'm here to watch anime. I already know that it is not real. That's not on my list, bro. We do not care. So if the main reason you can't recommend it is animation, you just gotta let me know in this video. Does it get better? Is the story worth it? Does the animation get better enough for me to go through those first 2 seasons? Because if you say it's so, then I might have to tap in. That's all I need to know.
Some points, which I know would put some people off. I think Kingdom as an anime is almost hard to rank or rate just because of the huge difference in quality from Season 3 and Season 4 from Season 1 and Season 2. And you might say, just read the manga is always better. But even if it is better, it's hard not to admit that the early chapters of Kingdom are still also lacking in terms of art. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that the characters in the beginning of Kingdom can often look a little goofy. And those who have seen or watched Kingdom, I'm not just talking about Oki. Even Shin, the main character, can seem a little goofy sometimes in the early chapters and the early seasons of Kingdom. Even though this is a problem
that shit is hot ass,
I still think it's worth considering before you watch or read Kingdom, as it can really hinder the reading and watching experience. And like I said earlier, the whole first season is almost entirely made up of CGI. This makes the whole season just feel clunky and just overall makes it almost unbearable to watch. And to top it off, when the CGI is used in action scenes, the fights look janky and they look like when a marionette is being moved by a puppeteer. The movements aren't very fluid, and there's just something that looks off whenever anyone is fighting. And in the first season, while they will sometimes animate some of the scenes by hand, I almost would have wished they stuck with one style even if it was all CGI. When they switch back and forth in scenes and some of the scenes are in CGI and some are drawn, it just makes the whole episode seem like an incoherent mess.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Bring that shit on, cause I'm gonna need a break. I'm gonna need a break from the CGI. So for the 2 minutes that I get a hand-drawn scene, I'm gonna be thanking the Lord. That ain't a downside for me, bruh. I'm gonna be
Luckily, the
praising the
nightmare of
Lord.
CGI is almost entirely gone going into season 2. Even if it does take 30 episodes to get there, and one of those episodes being 50 minutes long, and it's the first episode. I don't get what the studio was thinking when they decided to first release the anime. It's hard enough getting over the CGI, but to also make the first episode almost an hour long at the same time.
God damn.
You would think they were.
I didn't even know that. So it's a hour-long first episode, plus the whole season of the first season is Kingdom first season is no. Why can't I find how much episodes this bitch is? Kingdom anime. 38 episodes. 38 episodes. 38 episodes. That's damn near 40 episodes of CGI that you're watching.
Actively trying not to make people watch Kingdom. And when you think you finally escaped CGI hell, well, the season 2 animation still isn't anything to look forward to.
Hell, brother.
While there is no CGI, the way season 2 is animated has something about it that just looks off.
You know what? Look, this is how I'm gonna think about it, right? Because I've watched old animes before that, like, where the animation isn't the best. Like, I'm not, in my brain, bad animation for older animes, like, it doesn't hurt me that much, right? I know for a lot of new people, they can't get into older anime because the way it's animated. But if I just watch a full season of CGI, bro, anything is better. So if you're telling me they went to full hand drawing anime, I'm good. That's all you gotta tell me. The CGI is gone. If I could get through that first 40 episodes, the rest of the series is done. I promise you, bro. The rest of the series is
The
done.
characters' faces seem almost distorted at times, and the whole color palette of the season just isn't appealing in any way. The colors in this season look almost faded and just kind of bland as a whole. When I got into Kingdom for the first
Alright. Now, the realism, let's see what you're talking about. Before this video ends, bro, you need to tell me about the story, bro. I'm a story whore, bro. I love a good story. If the story is worth it, I can get through 40 episodes. I could get through it, bro. The story has to be worth it, though. You gotta let me know that this is a great story. If you don't do that, I can't
I
get
had no
into
previous
it.
knowledge of it, other than some trash taste clips here and there.
I haven't read Kingdom. I've been considering it.
I've read the first 5 volumes of Kingdom because I read
It's
it.
long, right?
Yeah, it's like
it's
60 volumes.
It's like okay.
It's still going. 60? It's still going.
Okay,
as well.
okay. I remember because I remember when I was like trying to get new manga to read, I was just like, fucking hell, this has 500 chapters. I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake, right? And then I read the first 100 chapters in like 2 days, and I'm like, thank fucking God, this has 500 chapters. It was like one of those manga when I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm so glad that there is just like an infinite number of chapters.
Yeah,
I knew its main premise and the history that it was tied to, but I didn't know really.
So if he got through 100 chapters, right? I'm making inferences here because he's not telling me. If it got 100 chapters, right, and Gigak is telling me that he read them and he was like, thank the Lord, there's hella more chapters for me to read, that must mean that there's a good story. Now, what I need you to do is tell me if the anime translates that,
What
please.
to expect.
Please,
But
I need
since
the
it was
answer.
based on historical events, I assumed that it was mostly going to be pretty realistic with nothing too crazy. Maybe an unrealistic grand feat here and there, like someone sniping another person with a bow from a distance that you definitely would not be able to hit a target accurately.
Bro, come on, bro. Nobody, like, let's keep it a buck, bro. No one wants to see a super realistic ass anime, bro. Not, like, come on, bro. I don't like. I want this whole to feel like some berserk type shit where like a nigga is just fucking slinging his sword around and killing 6 niggas at one time. I don't want no fucking 1v1 fights that are taking 15 minutes and a nigga get cut in his arm and now his mobility is limited. No, nobody wants that shit. We don't want to watch that, bro. We'll go watch some realistic TV shows that actually do some shit like that. I am here to watch some anime feeds. So if that's what you're telling me is gonna happen, then that is not a downside.
But nothing too crazy. But the longer I watch Kingdom, the more I realize that it may not be as realistic as I thought it was going in. There's many instances of Kingdom having wildly unrealistic occurrences, like this guy in Season 1 for example. And this guy named Muta.
Bro, like, if you see off the first person, you should be able to see that, okay, this isn't a realistic show. There's no way that this is a whole point.
But to be fair, I think those characters are the most unrealistic in the whole show, apart from probably the main character Shin himself. While Shin isn't comically huge
That's
like
what
the
I
other
like to
guy,
see.
and he doesn't have weird powers or skills like Muta, when you take in consideration that Shin's like 12 or like adolescent age and he's pulling off feats like this and overpowering grown-ass adults who have been fighting in countless battles, it gets pretty unrealistic. And that's one of the biggest points I've seen people complain about in Kingdom.
Bro, I wish a nigga would come to Berserk. I wish a nigga would come to Berserk and have that complaint. We do not care. Go on to another show, bro. It's like that's just such a bad thing to complain about in anime. There's so much anime that do that. It's just an anime thing, bro. Like, get over it.
Shin has countless battles that if you try to look at realistically, he should have no chance of even surviving. But time and time again, he comes out on top.
That's what I like to
see.
see.
If you come into Kingdom expecting super realistic fighting, you should probably stay away from Kingdom, or at least no.
Bro, I just want to know who is coming into anime expecting super realistic shit. Like, I just gotta know that, bro. Who is that? Please, where are you at? And why are you watching anime? Because this is not your source of entertainment, bro. Go turn on the History Channel.
Know what you're getting into. But even with all that considered, I think I could still say that Kingdom is still one of the best animes I've ever seen. Yes, there may be a rough start, but you can see that it improves every season, and that's what partly got me through it. Season 3 was like a light at the end of the tunnel, and Season 3 isn't just good. It's now one of my favorite arcs / seasons in all of anime. But let's go back to Season 1 and Season 2. While they do have their glaring faults, especially Season 1, it's not all bad. I think Kingdom's story being tied to a historical event like the unification of China makes it actually pretty interesting, even if it doesn't take the most completely faithful way to get there. But a grandiose historical event like unifying China is definitely an interesting topic to discover. I think Kingdom really lives up to its name as one of the best, if not the best, war manga ever made. And what I think makes Kingdom even more special is that while a lot of episodes and scenes take place on the battlefield, where the main character Shin mostly finds himself, there's also a lot of political battles depicted in many episodes following Issei, who's pretty much the other main character who is the 31st king of Qin. The story follows both of them simultaneously as they strive for their goals of becoming the greatest general on Earth and unifying the Middle Kingdom. But when you think of politics in anime, you probably think that it would be unbearably boring, which is what I thought going into Kingdom. But actually, it presents the political battles really well.
No, I think politic animes are fantastic. Bro, there's this one anime that if you don't know, like if you're into anime like this, bro, there's this one, I can't remember the title. It's basically an isekai where the nigga comes to the world and he becomes the king. It's very political and how they go about it. That whole is great. So if Kingdom does its politics anything like that, I think it's fine. The one thing that I don't like about politics is like the way Vinland Saga did it, where we're introduced to the main character as just like a fighter, bro. And then like I get it, character development, but he just turns into a whole different character. Like, it's cool. I just don't like how they went about it there. A lot of people like it. That's just the opinion-based thing right there. But I don't think that's a downside when it comes to a show like this. Like, you're talking about China and how it became unified. Of course there's going to be politics. Like, of course. You can't even think about coming into a show like this and not expecting politics, for real.
He does a really good job of showing the tension. It actually makes the episodes that only contain political scenes surprisingly enjoyable.
Okay.
I wanted to specifically have a section for just Season 3 because I don't think I could give this season enough praises. It's too good. I fucking love this arc.
Okay, now what I don't want you to do, listen to me. If I sit down here and watch this anime, right? and season 3 comes up, and I'm like, oh, I remember watching this video, boy. Season 3 is about to be a hit. And season 3 misses, I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to be very upset. I just really hate when the bar is set so high and the bar is not reached. So please do not make this seem better than what it is. Please, I'm begging.
That's made with passion.
Even though I still enjoy all the political stuff in the kingdom, I still would say I enjoy the episodes on the battlefield more.
Okay.
And season 3 is almost entirely on the battlefield.
Okay.
I want to describe and talk about season 3 as much as I can, but I also don't want to spoil it, so the things I might say may be kind of vague in this section. One of my favorite aspects of Kingdom, which I'm sure is many people's favorite aspect, is the tactics they use. The strategies they use from battle to battle makes watching long-running arcs just that much more enjoyable. It's like everyone is just one-upping each other in different tactics I couldn't even have thought they would do. And this is a thing they show in season 3 countless times. You're always looking forward to discovering what strategy someone is going to use, or you think one side is losing but then they pull some 5-head play they've been plotting out since the beginning.
I love
There's
a little,
so many
a
smart
little,
characters
little,
in Kingdom,
little yoink and
but
twist in
then
my
we
story.
have Shin. I see a lot of people complaining about Shin as a main character, but I personally don't have much of a problem with him. I kind of see him like he's just your usual shonen main character. He's crude, kinda dumb, stubborn, but throughout all his faults,
That
he still
sound like
barrels
a
forward. And I think that's what makes him
generic
admirable as a main character.
Regular
Kingdom
main
does a
shonen
really good
character.
job with making all of its characters interesting. With such a big cast, you would think a lot of characters would be bland and boring, but I tend to like almost all of its characters. Even the ones that don't make an appearance all that much. In season 3 there was even a general that, to be honest, I didn't really remember, and they didn't really give any screen time, but by the end of season 3 they definitely made a memorable impact.
Okay.
There's just so much that season 3 does right. Every character has their own spotlight and moment, and I swear I was ready to fight for the Chin army at some points in season 3. Season 3 is the amalgamation of all the built up pressure and conflicts that season 1 and season 2 had been setting up, and I could confidently say that it did not disappoint. It exceeded all of my expectations of it. The atmosphere and the tension of season 3 is something a lot of anime and manga fail to pull off. It goes by a million miles a minute, but it never feels like it's paced too fast. I never thought about how I might watch one more episode. I was just clicking the next episode until I realized that I may have been watching too much anime for the day. Every episode makes
That's
you
a
want
good
to know
day.
more
That's a
about
good
what
thing to
happens
say.
after. How does the battle end? Who wins this fight? Is there a hidden strategy just someone's gonna reveal later? It's these questions that make you want to click onto the next episode without any thought. And while I don't think season 4 was as great as season 3 was, it was still a good season. It was a more politically oriented season, but I think it did a good job of managing the atmosphere from episode to episode, since there was a lot on the line in season 4 with a lot of conflicting parties trying to get in the way of our protagonist's goals. And as of recording this video, season 5 has come out with a couple of episodes already, so if you do decide to start Kingdom, you could also have all of season 5 to watch too. I haven't read the manga now.
Look, I think you did a pretty good job here. You did a pretty good job here. And you know what I like what you did is you got the people that might not like the show out the way as soon as the video started. And that's brilliant. Because now, you know, like they're not going to like it anyway. If they think if someone can't get through the animation and it's going to be hard, not everybody's going to get through that. And that is a major pitfall. Damn near 40 episodes of CGI. That's going to hurt. But you made a good point, and this is how I think you should recommend anime to somebody. I don't think you should say you can't recommend it. I think you just have to give a big disclaimer, just like you did in this video. I feel like if you want to recommend Kingdom to somebody, you should send them this video because it tells them the biggest pitfalls of the show. And if they can't get through it, they can't get through it. But, you know, I'm going to try. I'm going to see how bad and how good. I wish he would have said how good the story was in the first 2 seasons. Because if the story is really good, then it makes the animation like it's gonna worsen how bad it's gonna better how bad the animation feels when I'm watching. But if the story is like the animation's just gonna stick out like a sore goddamn thumb. That's the only thing that I wish you would have said. But other than that, like
to know what happens in
you
it,
did-
but I've
you
seen
did
many
this
people
show
talk
justice.
about this upcoming arc and how good it is, so it's definitely something to look forward to. It seems like the season is also giving more focus to one of the generals specifically that I'm sure is a fan favorite due to all of his accomplishments. Overall, Kingdom has been an anime that I can for sure say that I enjoyed. As an anime, it has some glaring flaws that are hard to look past, but once you get past it, I can guarantee you that you'll find yourself enjoying Kingdom as much as I did. It's unfortunate that such a good manga had to be animated this way. Kingdom has slowly become one of my favorite animes that I've watched, and I might even try to finish the manga in the future. If you watched The Red Kingdom, what did you think of it?
Good episode. I mean, I said good episode. Good video. Good video, Burner Bagel. Great video. Great video. All right. So you like the video? You'll like this one too. Go ahead and click on that. Yeah. You're still here? So you don't fuck with me? Alright, I'ma just